All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahawashi, by Hashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to our apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings and many salutations to you, elect Akim, across the four corners of this earth, and those of the brothers kicking this word in sincerity and in truth. And I also want to say Shalom to the few sincere sisters that are out there that believe. All right. I'm the brother Sha'ar from the Great Millstone Dallas camp, and just want to come at you all with a short lesson. Was just doing some reading in Mark the 4th chapter, and just really listening to what Yahawashi is saying, and seeing how when you look at what's going on around the world, we're spotting. Well, I should say it as the chariots being spotted. Things are taking place throughout the whole earth. Wars brewing up. All right. I mean, we're hearing of more wars and rumors of war, things of that nature taking place. I mean, all the scriptures that were spoken of that were to be fulfilled are being fulfilled right now. All right. Which means that the Lord is getting closer to the earth. OK, so we see things taking place as in Satan getting stronger. You know, when I say getting stronger, we understand he had nothing but a short time. So the spirit of Satan is intensifying, and also the Edomites, the other nations, the demons that are on these people are intensifying because the time is coming to an end. All right. So brothers that are going through certain things, all right, you might go through certain dry spells in the spirit. And if you do, of course, we have prayer and fast involved for if that is to take place, or if demons mess with you, or if it's just stuff happening in your daily lives that's out of the ordinary. You know, just know that we're in a time where a lot more strange phenomenon like that are going to happen because that being the case. All right. Matter of fact, that leads me to a scripture here. This is 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 12. Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you. OK, being in this truth, there's a lot of strange things that have happened to you. How you like, what the hell? How did that happen? And the longer you're in here, the more you're going to run across those situations, because, again, you're being tried by the fire. You know, every single last one of us are going to be tried in different ways, forms and fashions. And going back to what was saying earlier, as we know, Yahawashi is getting ready to come back with those angels. All right. Literally, the earth is declaring it. The spirit's declaring it. All right. You see these trials by faith that become a little more strange. More things end up happening within your lives. All right. And the longer you're in this thing, which I'm still a babe, but, you know, speaking on somebody who has a few years of experience in this, the few years that I've had, I've felt it intensifying. So I know brothers that have been in this thing longer. All right. The elders and the apostles, they deal with it on higher measures. But the higher you get brought into this thing, it's more that's going to be, how should I word it, distributed unto you. All right. Blessings and hell on top of it. Strange phenomenon, things of that nature. Now, when I read this in Matthew the 4th chapter, it brought fear to me, especially when you think about the guys that have been among you. And, you know, they seemed on fire, and you looking at that brother like, man, that's got to be a man of the Lord. And they're not here no more. And it's times where you hear about certain situations where brothers might run into them on occasions, and they be like, man, that dude is bugged the hell out. That's a scary thing. You know, that's why it's important to continually pray that the Lord keeps his spirit on us, because the longer we're here, the longer we increase, one, more strange things will happen to you, and the Lord will hold you on a higher standard. And if we don't meet up to those standards, that's it. This is Matthew chapter 4, verse 24. And Yahawashi goes into the parable of the sower and the seed. And for the brothers that want more understanding on it, you can start from the first verse. All right. But I'm going to just go to the main point that I wanted to bring out in Mark 4 and 24. And he said unto them, take heed what ye hear. With what measure ye meet, it shall be measured unto you. and unto you that hear, more shall be given. Now, things that have to be considered here is that this is written in red. I mean, we understand all the word Yahawashi comes in the whole volume of the book, but we also, when we read the scriptures, we also want to more so put it as, when you read it, you want to experience that personal experience. So written in red, Yahawashi is literally speaking, and he's speaking to every last one of us like, listen, take heed. Take heed what ye hear, with what measure ye meet. All right. So with whatever measure that we meet, whatever through the Spirit the Lord distributed unto us. All right. Whatever measure that we meet, certain brothers are on higher levels than brothers. Certain brothers are on lower levels than brothers. And that's not a thing just to be strictly put on levels, but it just goes into the amount of the Spirit the Lord gave certain brothers. That's the measure. OK. It says, with what measure you meet, it shall be measured unto you. And you see guys that fell out. They wanted to be put on a certain level. They got proud. All right. Rebelled against the Spirit of the Lord. Go against all the things the apostles said. All right. A lot of these guys at a point of time, you looked at them like, dang, they know some stuff. But when tribulation hit them or something like that, they got rebuked. Whatever the case is, they go off and want to do their own doctrine. And you see that they losing all of it. They lost all of it. Can't take rebuke. They're proud. They don't believe that they're wrong. And the thing about it is, not just saying it to bash them, because, hey, the Lord gave them a reprobate mind, but how is to look at it as we should fear the Lord even more when we think about things like that. When you hear about a brother that fell out or something, I mean, of course, the scriptures say you're going to laugh on certain occasions, but at the same time, thinking of it balanced, it should bring fear unto you as well. Like the Lord could do that to any one of us. If we don't meet the requirements that he had put us on, that's it. And that's a heavy thing. Mark 4, verse 26. And he said, so is the kingdom of the Most High, as if a man should cast seed into the ground. All right. And what is a seed? What does a seed start off as? It starts off as, you have different size seeds, but they all start off way smaller than the finished product after it blossoms. So the word that we have is likened unto the seed. OK, the kingdom of heaven, which we represent the kingdom of heaven as well. To the world, we look insignificant. All right. Demons mess with you. There's times that you think that you ain't shit. We understand if you feel too down, fast and pray. But just know that on this side, it's going to be like that. But think of it as, still the kingdom of heaven, like that seed, small, insignificant to the rest of the world. But when it's thrown out there, going on the highways and byways, continuing to do the work, plant, husbandry, plant. I'm going to just keep reading. It says, and should sleep and rise. I'm going to start at verse 26 again. And he said, so is the kingdom of the Most High, as if a man should cast seed into the ground. All right. So the kingdom of heaven is like that low, insignificant, which we know the kingdom of heaven is not insignificant, but we're going to just use it as according to what other people see of us and what they really think about the kingdom of heaven as pertaining to the actions. They don't cherish it. They don't want it. They don't care about it. It's insignificant to them. Small. All right. So imagine that being thrown into the earth. All right. Which we know what it is, that we know what that seed will transform into. It says, and should sleep and rise night and day, and the seed should spring and grow up, and he knoweth not. All right. So he's talking about that seed being thrown and instantly, boom, being down here, casting out the net. It seems like a long period of time. And I'm just speaking as a man who hasn't even had a lot of time in this truth. But it's as day goes by day, it's like, okay, and you got brothers that have been in here longer, that have endured longer. But we can't compare that time to the kingdom of heaven, because what's a long time compared to an eternity? It's going to feel like night and day. Boom. People walk by, they scoff. They don't care. They do, excuse my French, but they do hoe ass shit. They don't care about it. They'll do something horrible to you and won't even apologize. You know, spit in the prophet's face. They scoff. They act proud. And they'll just keep doing it because it's fully set on their minds to do that evil. But instantly, when that judgment comes, all that stuff is going to be considered and they're going to be judged. Just like that. When the kingdom of heaven comes, destruction has to come first. You know? Destruction has to come first, and the elect are going to get those new bodies, and it's going to be rebuilt on the planet Earth. Salvation for us. Lord willing, we're those men. But it says, and should sleep and rise night and day, and the seed should spring up and grow up. He knoweth not how. For the earth bringeth forth fruit of herself, first the blade, then the ear, after that the full corn in the ear. But when the fruit is brought forth, immediately he putteth in the sickle, because the harvest is come. And we're in that time right now. We're entering into that time. All right. That's why these things are taking place on the planet Earth. That's why you're being afflicted in different levels. All right. Hey, we got to keep on enduring and keep on going. All right. We don't want to be that seed that gets thrown on the wayside, and the stones, I should say. Not the wayside, because the wayside are them that are just hear it and just run off. We don't want to be that seed that gets thrown on the stone and grows instantly but doesn't have that root. Because when that fire comes, then it'll wither away, as Yahawashi said. We don't want to be that. Those are those guys that are in here and, you know, they end up doing their thing, but immediately it just fall off, whatever the case is. Especially at the last days, we don't want to be those guys that end up just standing here, and as soon as tribulation comes, you fall away. That's why it says in Proverbs, he that fainteth in the day of tribulation, thy faith is small. All right. We don't want to be that. So whatever measure that we have, appreciate it, and just continue to ask the Lord to allow you to bear whatever comes and grow. Take the bitter. And that's starting with myself. All right. Pray for humility. We don't want to be that guy that thinks we know it all. And you know what I'm saying? We don't want to be that, because we've seen examples of guys that were here and thought they had it, and automatically the Lord just takes it away. Whatever the reason being is, he takes it away. At the end of the day, it's taken away, you know. But it was on my spirit to go into that lesson. All right. Lord willing, it was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahawashi, by Hashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to our apostles and our elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings and much salutation to you, elect Akyam, across the four winds of this earth, kicking this word in sincerity and in truth. Shalom.